could take me all of the places, treat me like I was your baby.
Hey ladies, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about how to get princess treatment. So I'm going to tell you something that you've not heard before, or well, you might have, but princess treatment is not something you ask for. It's something people decide to give you based on who you're being. Have you ever wondered why some women are adored, protected, prioritized, and you're constantly having to show your worth? Well, I hope you stay tuned for this video because I'm going to challenge all the thoughts you had. So, I'm shocked in 2025, women were still asking or getting, well, 50-50 treatment. Being asked for a date and then being asked to split the bill. I don't need to see that in 2026. In 2026, I'm going to need all my women right now to go for the standards that they deserve, and they should not be getting 50-50 treatment. That's not the way to go. Now, if you think about it, why is it that some women don't get 50-50 treatment and some women do? It's all about how men perceive you. And I'm not talking about, okay, how attractive you are, how much money you have. That's all, technical stuff. But what I'm talking about is what you allow as soon as you meet a man. Are you confident in what you're saying and what you're asking for? And men, the first thing they can see on a woman is their confidence. If you haven't got confidence, they can see that straight away. And that's why they play with you, basically. So it's not about pretending to be high maintenance. The bags, your value is not in your bag. It's about the calm certainty that you don't need to convince anyone of your value. You gain respect and value from a man. So, for example, when I was, working in corporate, if I had to go out for dinner with male colleagues, we would go to like expensive roof bars in London, expensive outings, and they never once asked me to pay 50-50. We're just colleagues. We're not even friends like that. Well, I mean, we chat at work, but we're not even that close like that. And they would always pay for it, even though these were expensive places. Why? Because they knew that, one, they have to keep up their own reputation. So if them as a man don't even feel like asking for 50-50 is like shambles. It's like basically shambles. It's like affecting their own reputation, then that is an issue. Like if they don't even consider that. So then 100% if he's asking you 50-50, that is the wrong man for you, 100%, because him as a man should not even feel comfortable asking for that. Or, he has his own integrity to uphold, right? And ideally, a man should be the leader in the household and lead his women. How can you gather respect if you're asking for 50-50? Sorry, you can't. So, but the thing that we're talking about here is, why is it that you are the one he's asking for 50-50? I'm telling you the reason why is because he sees that you're not confident, and he sees that you don't see your value as the woman who deserves princess treatment. So, top issue. Women are taught to over-explain, over-give, and over-perform. So you think if you're nicer, you'll be chosen. You think if you prove yourself, you'll be valued. You think if you overlook the things that he does, whether it's dinner, whether it's, showing up late, not buying you gifts, then you're being the perfect girlfriend, right? The perfect woman to be a wife. Well, no. What you are doing is setting the standard for how he treats you going forward. And this is why a lot of women have this situation where They're with a man, they're not 100% happy, but the man keeps telling them, you know what, when I become rich, when I become this, I'm going to give you the life you deserve. No, how much is in your bank account right now? You need to set your standards straight away from the beginning, from as soon as he meets you. Don't be too available. One, even when he meets you, don't even say, oh yes, I'm automatically going to go for a date, or make space in your schedule. That's another thing I want to talk about, is you as a woman need to understand, right, that your time is value. It's money, basically. Me going out on a date with you is money, it's time, it's resources. Time I could be, working on my business, time I could be working on myself, and I'm using it to spend time with you. So that's how you need to act with people in life. You need to treat, whenever somebody asks you to go out or to do anything, you need to act like that's time, that's money. Yes, money you actually spent to do your hair, get your outfit, your dress, your heels. And yeah, so you need to treat them like that. Yes, the men will get upset. You see it online, these red pill talks, and they'll be like, oh, you think you're all that, you think you're this. Well, that's because that's not the man for you. And he's definitely not the man who's going to give you princess treatment. So, yeah, men know who to play with, and you also know who to play with. That's that. So, I'm going to give you the blueprint on how to basically get princess treatment. So, the girl who gets princess treatment, you don't need to seduce him. You don't need to persuade him. That's a no-no. You just need to say, this is my value, this is what I worth. And you have to show that in your actions. The way you dress, the way you put yourself together, the way you do your self-care. These are things that before you've even opened your mouth, a man can see that about you, that you take care of yourself, that you value yourself, that you have integrity, that you're in your feminine aura, right? He can see that straight away, and that's exactly the thing that attracts him to you, right? Yes, I know a lot of women think they do these things, right? And they like, oh, why do bum guys still try and talk to me? Yeah, because bum guys have nothing to lose by talking to you, and they're always going to have audacity because, well, even if they're not going to lose anything by not talking to you, so they're always going to try. So that doesn't have any bearing on you as a person. People who, may not necessarily be on your level will always want to be around you, always want to talk to you, always, they want your energy, your light, basically. So it's up to you to guard your heart and, turn people away. This is, I'm not even talking about only men, but I'm talking about other women as well. You find that a lot of women will try to befriend you because you're that girl, you're the it girl, you're the pretty girl, you're the fun girl, you're the, the girl who works hard, who's gorgeous, who gets a lot of attention and admiration from men. People always want to be around you, but what you find is it's not always for the right reasons. The next one is emotional detachment. So you speak based on the lessons that you've learned and not based on the trauma. So, all of us, we go through things, we've gone through past relationships where, maybe a man's mistreated us, family members have mistreated us. So we speak as if we've learned something from that and we've gained wisdom from that, not from a place of, you know what, all men are trash, all men are this, there's no good men out there. First of all, you're putting all that negative energy in the air, and that's exactly what's going to find you. Have you noticed that it's been sorry, this is probably a sensitive topic because I'm women, but have you noticed that in the cases of women who've been abused, whether it be sexually or domestic, it always happens to be a reoccurring thing. It's always, okay, they move on to another relationship and then another narcissistic man has come on, is with them again. And they might not have shown signs of that in the beginning, but all of a sudden they've changed. And the reason for this is because we haven't part of the reason is because we haven't let go of that trauma, and we then become a target for other people. Because basically, if we're operating in the real world, you have to understand this, right? That there are predators and there are prey. So when you're going about, predators, i.e. men, women, whichever, are looking for people to prey on. And yeah, if you are someone who has trauma, and you're showing a lot of extensive signs of this on the outside, you can be prey for another person to prey on you. And this is definitely what is happening. So I'm not saying, okay, if something bad to you, then all of a sudden you're just going to get over it. But what I am saying is, use the things that you've gone through to guard yourself against future attacks or future you know attacks against you. So because now, okay, these people might not be good person, so you can guard against it. The next one is clear identity. Do you know who you are? So the girl who gets Princess Treat Me knows exactly who she is, and she's not trying to be anyone else. Some people are like, okay, they're gonna say you're a gold digger, you're this, you're that, but no, you know who you are, and you're not gonna listen to what everyone defines you as being. This is the standard that I am. Whether you like it or you don't like it, you have to have that matter of fact action. So yes, not everyone's gonna like you, not every man's gonna want to be with you, because they're gonna think, well, you're too high maintenance, your standards are, a lot of people will tell you, like, when you go on those like dating shows, they'll be like, oh, your standards are too high, that's why you haven't found a man. It's like, no, the standards are not too high. It's about, okay, your standards, are they realistic based on you? So if I'm a beautiful woman who makes a lot of money, who has a good job, has my own house, has my own car, has stuff going for myself, then yes, I'm gonna have high standards, correct? So why do I need to lower my standards? You're just not in the standards, so you can just remove yourself remove yourself from the list. That's what it is. So it's not about you. You base your standards based on the work that you've done on yourself. So you see yourself as a woman with integrity, an elegant woman, a beautiful woman. So you should get your match, which is a high value match, right? So the next one is about your composure, right? So how do you act when you go about your daily business? So if a guy comes up to you and asks you on a date, you're emptying your schedule, you're like, yes, I'm ready to go? No. What you need to be like is, you need to be assertive with your time, with your space. You need to be like, look, like, for example, like when I was in office, if someone comes up to me and like, oh, do you know what, I have something a really urgent business deal going on, I need your help, because I was in regulatory compliance for years, I need your help, to answer this problem and this query. I need it really urgently because of this 1 million business deal that's coming in. Da, da, da. Well, guess what? You're not the only one who needs me. You're not the only one who needs my time. And I also have my own priorities. So what do I tell them? I tell them to put it in my schedule and let's have a meeting about it. I rarely ever just have the meeting straight away. I mean, unless, I'm in a good mood. But most of the time, I would schedule a meeting. Why? Because one, I need background on what's going on. I need to assess. So it's the same thing in life. You get invited to an event or you go invited to a date. You need to, one, assess this guy. What's his background? Are we on the same, does he want the same things I want? Where is he from? Do a bit of digging before you even agree to go on a date. So, putting it all together, how you apply this to get princess treatment. So, one, speak less, but with intention. Move slower. So, we talked about that. Assess your environment, whether it's online, in person, and, regulate your emotions. Don't show everything on your face before you get there. Stop explaining your standards. How you dress, how you talk, how you carry yourself, people will automatically know these are your standards, and then you stick to them. Let silence do the work. So you don't always have to, communicate everything, put everything out there. Just be a bit more quiet, silent. When people see you, they come to you. You grab their attention. The last one, choose environments that already respect you. So, don't always go to places where people don't like you. Yep, and that's it. So, the woman who's adored doesn't need to announce her power. It's obvious in the way she exits her conversations. So, if you resonate with everything that I've talked about today and what you've learned today, I've got my book, How to Become the Woman They Adore. The link is in the bio, or go to my main channel and you'll find a link somewhere there. So if you're done performing and you're ready to basically be the woman that everyone admires. Yep. So thanks so much for watching my channel, and I'll see you on the next vid.
Take me all of the places, treat me like I